Hey everybody, what's going on? Butter here, back inside of Borderlands 2 to discuss, or rather to continue our discussion about things we would like to see inside of Borderlands 3. Now, last time we talked about more community events, and there was a lot of discussion, almost 1,000 comments, so had a lot of fun going through and reading the majority of those. Obviously, I can't get to all of them, but I read quite a few of them, and we're going to touch on a couple of topics that I saw a lot in the comment section, which first one is going to be the whole double jump system from the pre-sequel should be a staple inside of the Borderlands series. There's a lot of people who mentioned that they liked the fact that there was a double jump system, but they really didn't like the whole oxygen system, and I'm inclined to agree with them. The oxygen system wasn't exactly the greatest thing in the world because, well, you never really felt like you were in any danger. It just felt kind of it wasn't tedious. It was just not something you wanted to keep track of. You didn't really care. It just sort of was there and it happened and it was like, all right, cool. I don't know what to do with this. So maybe we could adjust the whole double jump and that system. Maybe move to sort of a fuel system or some sort of iridium charged mechanic thing that regenerates. So you can have this double jump on demand when you actually want it. Another thing is the butt slam as well. I don't know how many times that after playing, the pre-sequel, I keep trying to use the butt slam over and over again, and it doesn't work because I'm not in the pre-sequel anymore. And I feel like that kind of mobility is something that should be a staple in all of the games. So that is one of the major topics that we saw a lot. Another one that I saw was the whole aspect of raid bossing. Now, right now, raid bosses in Borderlands 2 and in the pre-sequel and pretty much in all the games in general, you go up, you just go to this area, you fight the raid boss, it dies, it drops some loot, you pick up the loot, and you walk back out, you walk back in, and you kill the thing again. I'm hoping that maybe we can revamp that whole process. Maybe have it a little bit more structured like Digistruct Peak. Maybe we don't need to have, or maybe not have a super hard boss, or maybe have checkpoints before the boss, so that way even if you die, you not have to go through the whole thing again. But maybe have a little bit more structure to it, to where you have to actually fight your way to the raid boss, and you don't feel like, oh, well then, this is all right, where you just kind of walk in. I feel like it kind of misses something when you just sort of walk into the boss room with no real build-up. A good example is the warrior. You have to fight your way to the warrior. You have to go through the Hyperion forces, and at the end, you get to fight Jack and the warrior. I feel like that is how raid bossing should be set up, or Digistruct Peak, where you have to go through the whole thing and fight, oh my god, what the hell. And I'm curious what everyone's thoughts and opinions is on that, because I feel like the structure is kind of needed, and I feel like we could also maybe greatly increase the drops that end up coming from these bosses if we have this kind of structuring to it. Although I would like raid bosses to be a little bit, more generous in general, because, well, yeah, they're a little stingy. You've got this really strong raid boss that, without the strong loot, you're gonna have a hard time taking out, and it's only got a 3% drop, and that's not even assuming you want to try and get perfect parts for the damn thing. Getting a perfect Hide of Terramorphous is not an easy feat. In fact, it's just outright insane to try and get one on OP8. I don't even want to think of trying to farm for one of those on OP8. That would just be bleh. So maybe we could increase the drop rates on things like that with a little bit more structuring. Maybe they'll always, drop one of their boss legendaries or something like that. Something to that effect. Similar to how, oh my god, what the hell, always drops a pearl on OP8. You can make the raid boss always drop one of his loot. So, you have to fight your way to Terra, going through like this Thresher and infested area, and then afterwards you'll get either his blood, his hide, you know, something like that, his breath, his teeth, something. So that's what I want to do. That's what I'm thinking needs to happen with raid bossing. And now, sort of the last thing that I touched on, and this is something that I've been thinking out of. I kind of want a way to revamp the way world drop legendaries kind of work. Now, because I can't think of any sort of, you know, specific name, we're just gonna, as a placeholder, we're gonna call them pearlescent. All right, purely as a placeholder. But I kind of want to see like pearlescent versions of legendaries that are world drops. Whenever you get a world drop legendary, which means a 1 in 10,000 chance, maybe we can make that a little bit more generous, maybe 1 in 5,000 or something like that. But every time you get a legendary like that, maybe we could have a unique version of that unique. Something that just kind of mixes it up a little bit more. And where you actually want to go through your mobbing areas just a little bit more often. Because right now it's, you know, farm X boss or farm X chest. Why not have a reason to go out and go mob and get those random world drops from enemies? And, you know, increase the drop rates of them as well, so that way they actually happen. But you could have, like, you know, let's say, let me just pull something off the top of my head. Maybe you've got a pearlescent bonus package. All right, where the special effect of it is that even after little Merv grenades explode, they then home in on the enemy, or something to that effect. Now, I'm not saying we should, you know, we make every single legendary return, but that's just an idea that I would be throwing out there. So the whole aspect of you could get this super rare item from just mobbing around, and it's not something you could really go for. It just sort of happens, and when it does happen in a game, you feel great, and the special effect on it would make it, you know, good enough to where you didn't really care what the parts are on it. You're like, oh my god, just got a pearlescent bonus package. That's insane. And that's the thing that I want to kind of bring to you all. So how do you feel about that? Those are the three things I want to touch on today. Pearlescent legendaries, the restructuring of raid bossing in general for the Borderlands series, and making double jump sort of a staple throughout there. And to touch on the double jumping, maybe we could have another use for the iridium to increase your, I don't know, maybe you could have like this little recharge, you know, this little bar that recharges whenever you don't jump or something like that, or rather when you don't use your double jump, and you can upgrade its recharge, delay, its capacity, and things like that with the new currency, whatever it ends up being. So we're going to have a new currency. It's just how it is. We're going to have a new one. So maybe that's something we can do. Increase, maybe go so far as to say maybe increase the jumps, but I don't think that's really necessary. But yeah, those are the things I want to touch on. So let me know in the comment section below what exactly you would like to see inside of the Borderlands 3. We'll touch on it. We'll talk about it a little bit more. I'm not going to make these a daily thing, like I said, but I do want to kind of go over all the little ins and outs of what I think should be inside the Borderlands 3. And like we said, Gearbox has been a lot more talkative to the community. I've actually gotten to talk to a lot of the community people themselves, and, you know, let's show them the things that we want. Obviously, not everything's going to get in there, but just get an idea of what we would like to see. So let your voice be heard. All that. Throw it in the comment section. And yeah. So thank you all for watching. That's going to wrap it up for this commentary for today. And I'll catch you all in the next video, everybody. These exploders need to die. I kind of like One Gun Sal. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of liking One Gun Sal. I want to make a build for One Gun Sal. You guys think I should make a build for One Gun Sal? I don't know. Anyway, as always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe for future videos. And I'll catch you all in the next video, everybody. Later.